Hi everyone, I'm Charlotte Strong with Strong Art Creations. I'm a member of several pouring groups on Facebook, and there's been ongoing discussion in those groups about using glue-all as a pouring medium. And the discussion is about whether or not glue-all ruins your painting. You know, first of all, let me introduce my little assistant today. This is Cisco, little man Cisco. He's here to help me to talk about glue-all and GAC 800. So this is Cisco. So the ongoing discussion and debate in the pouring groups has been whether or not glue-all is an appropriate pouring medium to use for paint pouring. And I've seen the results that artists get using glue-all, and it's amazing. There's great results that these artists are getting using glue-all. However, the makers of art mediums and the makers of glue-all itself, glue in the form of glue-all or PVA glue, as it's known in other countries, the makers of glue say that it's not meant to be used in art, that using glue for art will cause yellowing in the art, it will cause cracking and crazing in the art, it will cause peeling of the art from the canvas, and also that the acids in the glue will cause fading of the color, especially if exposed to sunlight. And the reason that it does that is because the acids in the glue washes out or fades out the pigments in the paint. So the discussion in these groups has been, where's the proof? Where's the proof that glue ruins your art? Where's the proof that it's not an appropriate pouring medium? I use it, it works great. I have these paintings that I've had for months. Some people say they've had a painting that they've had for years. Some say that they seal it with a UV sealant and that their paintings are doing just fine. So people are asking for proof that it actually ruins a painting. So I decided to do an experiment. I'm going to be doing two paintings, one using glue-all as the pouring medium and the other using GAC 800 as the pouring medium. And then I'm going to expose them to sunlight. And the reason I'm going to expose them to sunlight is to speed up the aging process, or the exposure process. And I just want to see what happens when these two paintings are exposed to sunlight. I want to see if glue-all does indeed break down pigments in the paint and fades them out, or does indeed yellow faster than other mediums, or does indeed cause cracking and peeling of the paint off the canvas. First of all, let me say that if glue is the only thing that you can afford, or it's the only thing available to you where you live, by all means use glue. Use glue in your art. Don't let anything stop you from making art. The most important thing is to make art. And that means making art with whatever you have available to you. Don't let anything or anyone stop you from making art, and don't let anything or anyone tell you that the art that you're making isn't good enough. It's really important that you make art. That is the most important thing of all. And don't let anything stop you from that, including this little experiment about whether or not glue is an appropriate medium. If you use glue in your art because that's what's available to you or what you can afford, maybe take steps to prevent it from being in extra sunlight, or just know that it may not be something that is going to be as lasting as other art mediums. And who knows, doing this experiment, I may find exposing it to sunlight that nothing happens, or that both of them degrade at the same rate. We'll actually see exposing these two to sunlight. So here's what I'm doing. I'm going to take GAC 800, and I'm going to mix it with these 3 colors of paint, and I'm going to pour it onto one canvas, and then I'm taking Elmer's glue all and mixing it with the same colors of paint and pouring it onto another canvas. And once I get the paintings finished, I'll allow them to cure, and then I have a little spot in my sunroom that gets plenty of sunlight. It's not exposed to the elements, so it's not going to be exposed to wind or rain or anything like that. It's just going to be exposed to sunlight. So I'll put them in that little area of the sunroom so that it can be exposed to sunlight, and I'll take pictures and video at regular intervals, probably weekly, and just to see what happens. I want to see what happens over time, and I'll leave them out there for as long as I can possibly leave them out there to see what happens when they are exposed to sunlight. How long does it take for them to break down? How long does it take for sunlight to do anything at all to either of the pieces? So stay tuned. Right now I'm going to get started doing the paintings, and I'm going to show you the paintings on camera, so I'll show you those. And I'm going to get started with that right now. That's the next step, so stay tuned for that, and then also stay tuned each time I do the next video with updates on what happens with exposure to sunlight. I'll see you in a minute. Okay, I'm ready to start. So on this side I have glue all with ultramarine blue, magenta, and white. And on this side I have GAC 800 with the same colors. Golden fluid paints. In the GAC 800 I did not need to add water or anything, it's very fluid. But in the glue all I did need to add about a teaspoon of water because it was very, very thick. So I needed to add water to the glue all. Okay, I'm going to go in with the GAC 800 first. It's mixed with the same ratios. So I used a tablespoon of paint, a tablespoon of GAC. Let me say that again. I used a tablespoon of paint to 2 tablespoons of GAC 800, and I used a tablespoon of paint to 2 tablespoons of glue all. The only difference is on the glue all I added probably a teaspoon of water. I want to have a full representation in here of the blue and the red and the white. Right now there's a lot of white. So I'm going to come in with some more of the blue. that works. I'm going to change my gloves so that there's not crossover. The glue is definitely thicker. Might be an air bubble, but yep, that was an air bubble. Oh, interesting. Cells are cropping up in the glue. Wow. Look at those cells. Let's see if cells crop up with the GAC 800. No cells. So this is glue all. Look at all those cells. Glue all is known as PVA glue in other countries. And this is GAC 800. No cells. What I notice is that GAC 800, the colors are more translucent, and the glue all, the colors are more opaque. I'm curious to know how it's going to dry. Especially the red. The red is much more opaque with the glue all than with the GAC. I think I was able to capture a good color combination. I wanted to have white in there to check for yellowing, red to see if the red fades, and blue to see if the blue fades. I thought about doing black, but if I got too many colors, it would just be too many colors on the canvas. So I think this will work. Stay tuned. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.